Hey guys, welcome back. First things first, I'm doing a voiceover today, which is a new experience for me, and my voice is not up to scratch, really. Well, I mean, it is up to scratch in that it's very scratchy, so I apologize for that in advance. Today we are doing the Colored Contour Challenge, which was started by Miss Mixed on Twitter to share that all colors and shades are welcome in the beauty community. I'll link her original tweet down below. Her looks are bomb. But let's just sort of get into it. I decided to use red, so I'm starting with my eyes. I'm using the NYX Ultimate Brights palette, which I always thought was called Vivid Brights. Don't know why, but I always did. And I'm taking that red shade in the upper corner on a sort of tapered blending brush. I can't remember exactly what this one's called. It's from Smashbox. And I'm using that in little circular motions to blend that color into my crease. I obviously had started with my base and brows all done. I'm wearing the Makeup Revolution foundation stick, which I normally think is too oily for me, so I don't really wear it normally, but it is full coverage, and given that I was putting red on my cheeks and nose, I wanted to make sure that any other colors were completely covered up for my skin. I also used the Maybelline Fit Me foundation concealer and powdered the crap out of it all. So that's all completely done. I primed my eyes with the NYX full coverage concealer, and so that's what I always use to prime my eyes. And so yeah, that's pretty much all my normal routine, bar the foundation. So you can see that I'm trying to sort of keep it a very rounded shape. I was almost tempted to go for like a red smoky eye, but I ultimately changed that to a half cut crease. But I did want to keep that sort of blown out feel to it, which is why I was sort of rounding it at the edges rather than doing like a sharper wing, which I normally do. And then going into the Rose Gold Chocolate Bar by Makeup Revolution, you can see that I got a whiff of the chocolate there. And I'm using that burgundy shade to intensify that inner V kind of corner shape place. It ultimately turned out a little bit too dark for me, so I went back in with a fluffy blending brush and that red from the NYX Vivid Brights. You'll see me do that in a moment, and I use that to sort of blend it out and also make the red a little bit brighter again. This one is a brush from Eco Tools. I don't remember what it's called. I'm very sorry. It does bug me when brushes don't print their name right on it, but this one is one of the ones that didn't. I'm now cutting my crease. I'm doing a half cut crease with the Maybelline Fit Me foundation, Fit Me concealer rather, and a flat circular brush. I know some people use quite big brushes, but I always find that kind of scary, so I use like the tiniest one that I've got, and I just sort of pat and swipe that on. It's just what works for me. Obviously everyone does it a little bit differently. I'm then taking another sort of flat rounded brush. This one's a little bit fluffier, and a pink sparkly shade, again from the Makeup Revolution chocolate bar, Rose Gold Chocolate palette. And I'm tapping that on top of the concealer, and then also a little bit in towards where that red shadows are, to the red shadows, which just sort of helps to blend it and make it look like there's no harsh lines, which is always how I do it. I might make a sort of more in-depth video on how I do my blending and everything. I don't think I'm the best that there is, but I found what works for me, and I think it looks good, so. I'm now moving on to my lower lash line. I'm taking the red from the NYX Vivid Brights, Ultimate Brights rather, I keep getting that wrong, shadow on a little flat brush and dragging that underneath my eye. I forgot to show you that I was using that color, but trust me, I am. And then I'm taking that same fluffy brush as well and sort of using that to blend the edges of that lower lash line with the outer corner of the upper lid, I guess. Then I went in with the NYX XXL mascara on my up top lashes, and then took the Kiko Milano full volume, I want to say, full impact volume, something like that, onto the upper and lower lashes. So yeah, nothing terribly exciting there, just my mascara. After I finished this, sorry, if you don't know, I always wear headphones when I'm filming so that I don't accidentally get copyright strikes for listening to music. And today I was listening to the Soft 90s playlist on Spotify, which devolved into me listening to Friday I'm in Love by The Cure and Baby I Love Your Way, which I can't remember who sings that one, on repeat and just sort of singing along. So now finally we're into the contouring. I'm taking an angled fluffy brush, which I believe is from number 7, and I always use it for my contouring. And I'm blending that into my contouring spots. I only really contour under my cheekbones and then on my nose. Although normally I would just do my cheekbones, to be honest. I don't really do a whole lot of contouring. So this was a new experience for me, not only in the fact that I was doing an intense contour, but also like the added challenge of it being red. But I was looking at myself like in the camera and doing this, and I was like, why is this like low-key snatched though? Like, do I need to just start paying more attention to my contouring? Like, I don't understand. Like, it's actually like, you can see like I'm making these faces, I'm like, whoa, like for real? So I definitely want to try doing like a full contouring routine like again, because I used to do it semi regularly, but I haven't in a long time. So I don't know, this kind of inspired me to like pay more attention to my face routine and my contouring. So, you know, extra bonuses from doing the challenge. I think that this challenge is really cool, and I really love the meaning behind it as well, with this idea of inclusivity and the fact that all colors and people and everything should be welcomed into the beauty community. I think it's especially important in light of some, you know, recent foundation launches, not naming any names, but I think we all know who I'm talking about. I think like we're living in a world of so many different people and different ethnicities and skin tones, and the fact that, you know, the makeup community isn't helping with that at all is just kind of sad and dumb. Like, you're alienating consumers. Like, from a business standpoint, it's dumb, and from a moral standpoint, it's dumb, and I think that that's something that's really important to me. So now I'm about to move on to my nose contouring, which I was real nervous about because nose contouring is hard enough without it being red. So I needed to just have a moment. I had some water and a lemon Kit Kat, and then I was ready to go. I'm again taking just that NYX color. With this one, I didn't want to go into the chocolate bar palette like I did for my cheeks, which I think you saw. I just wanted to use the NYX one because I didn't want it to be like too dark or intense. Well, I mean, I want it to be intense and obvious that it was red, but I didn't want it to get too dark. This is again, like I was doing this and I was like, why is this like actually snatched? Like, why does this actually look like good? At first I was like really hesitant because I normally blend my contour like up towards my eyebrows, but because it was red, I was like super nervous about it. So I was like, nah. But then as I was blending it, it kind of ended up going towards my eyebrows anyway, and it didn't actually turn out that bad or scary. So sorry, I dropped my microphone. That bad or scary or anything. Sorry, I just keep singing along. I don't know why. I decided that was a good idea, because now I've just got all this footage of me just lip syncing to, you know, The Cure. I also decided to do a little bit of contouring to the tip of my nose, which is something that I always do, but I'm always like a little bit scared to do because, I don't know, I don't really like my nose. I don't know why, but that's sort of one of my things that I struggle with. So sometimes I know contouring is supposed to help with that, but sometimes it's something that I just skip because I don't want to have to look at my nose for too long. But I was doing this today and had just a lot of fun with it, so maybe that will help. I don't know. I doubt it, but hey, if I'm having fun doing makeup on my nose, I'm going to count it as a win, and maybe it will take me somewhere good. Yeah, so here I'm just sort of playing around with my hair for some reason, but I think I was also just trying to think of what to do next and kind of realizing how ridiculous I looked painted all red. I took now a Makeup Revolution baked highlighter. I want to say that the color is pink quartz or something like that. I'll list it down below anyway, and I'm just applying that on a wet brush to the highlights of my face. Apparently I was using 2 wet brushes actually, and applying that to the highlights of my face. It didn't really pick up on camera. I think the trouble is that I don't really have studio lights, so I was sitting in front of a window and using natural lighting, which is also why I get distracted by things like cars going by. At this point, I realized that I wanted to do something a bit different. It was already quite an editorial look, so I decided that I would add fake freckles. So I started by using a brown pencil liner, and when that ultimately didn't really work, I switched to a brown felt tipped liner and use that instead. I was not going for natural, babes, okay? Like, I was going for out there and very obviously fake. Like, that was the vibe. It kind of ended up turning me into a strawberry. In the end, I was kind of like, oh, was I doing a strawberry-inspired makeup look? Which I'm not complaining about. Like, the art will take you where the art takes you. Not to sound like fake deep, but I'm not complaining about that. It was just an interesting little thing that happened to my, idea here, which I had a lot of fun with. I felt kind of fun and cute and summery, which isn't exactly how I thought this would make me feel. So I was gonna take it. I don't know why I just keep making random faces. I mean, I do know why. It's because I felt a little bit awkward and was just, trying to relieve some tension, I guess. So I've come a little bit closer here so you can actually see the freckles. I was well excited with them. I was well pleased with how they turned out. So now to finish off the look, I'm using some nude liquid lipstick, and then I topped that with a much lighter cream lipstick. Cream lipstick, is that a thing that people say? I feel like it should be if it's not. This is one of my favorite lip combos. I didn't line my lips though, and I think that kind of messed it up. I just couldn't be bothered, and I probably should have because it just doesn't look quite as crisp as I would have liked it to. So yeah, that was the finished look. I had a lot of fun doing this challenge. I had a lot of fun filming this video. And now I'm just posing and still lip syncing along to 90s music. I think it looks a bit odd, but also I think that you get a lot more natural facial movement than I would have if I'd just been posing. So I'm gonna roll with it, and it will probably happen again in other videos where I'll just be jamming out to some random music. But yeah, I had a lot of fun with this video. I had a lot of fun with this challenge. Again, I'll link Miss Mixed tweet down below because I think it's bomb. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next Saturday. Just a bit more lip syncing.